Motivational Mondays.
Hey guys, this is Karrie Shust, and I'm super excited to welcome you here today on Motivational Monday, your source for the uplifting content to get you through the week. So let's talk about those things that motivate us, right? I have been a coach for 36 years and absolutely love motivating people, bringing in goodness into their life, but also being able to test them in what they are headed to do and where they've been. So one of the beautiful quotes that I love quoting is that you learn from your failure, but you don't live in it. So as we begin this amazing year, we've got 52 Mondays to motivate you, to get you to where you're going, and to understand where your soul's greatest potential is. So right now, I want you to grab a pen, grab your app, grab a journal, because we're going to write some things down. The very first thing that I want you to write down is it is okay to say no. So for the next couple of weeks, we're going to establish overcoming the no. Because going into a brand new year, it's a brand new slate. Doesn't matter what year it is, right? So many of us come into New Year's bringing in regrets and shame. So I want you to just shake that off. I want you to take a moment and I want you to take a really deep breath. This is what I tell my athletes. Like when you are ready to conquer something, this is what I tell my mastermind clients. This is what I'm telling you right now. We're going to get personal because we want to bring in a new year with no sense of regrets and no shame. So I want you to breathe deep, like you've got a straw in your belly button, right? So here we go. And I want you to release the 3 things that have weighted you down like a huge anchor. Now I want you to write it down. 3 things, right? Psychologically, our mind remembers in 3s. So as we establish overcoming the no, we want to put a positive vibe on that, right? We want to bring in some good energy. We want to bring light into the situation because sometimes we can be so hidden in darkness in our own depths of our soul that we don't know how to overcome that position. So 1, write it down. You guys ready? I'm giving you permission to say no. So in 2021, or 22 or 23, I want you to take the things that you absolutely learned and loved, right? And the other things, I want you to give yourself permission to say no. And here's why I say that. Saying no to good can give you room and make space for something that's great. But if we've got our positions and our calendars and everything cluttered with things that we think that we should be doing that makes us busy instead of productive, a lot of times it keeps us from opening opportunities and walking through doors that allows greatness to be established. So let's overcome the opportunity to say yes. I was a yes person for so many years. Yes, because I wanted to be approved. Yes, because it made me in a place, right? But that's not where we're headed. What we're doing this year is kicking it to the curb. So it may seem uncomfortable at first, especially if you have to say no to a person or no to a child, no to a spouse. But I want you to really think about how it makes you feel to say yes. Does it bring in joy? Does it bring in goodness? Does it bring excitement? Does it bring newness in it? Does it bring a passion? Does it motivate you? I mean, there's going to be things that we have to say yes to, right? We don't have a choice on some things. Like if you're a parent, you've got to say yes to certain things. If you're a spouse, but there are certain elements in our world, right? We're in charge of our story. We write the story and we can change that story at any time. But learning how to overcome the word no. It doesn't always have to be yes. Yes, I'm approved. Saying yes, it's going to make me be loved more. Man or woman, I have come into many clientele, many athletes, that it really can be a cornerstone of keeping us stuck. So give yourself permission to say yes. And then give yourself permission to say no. But sometimes you've got to write it down because our brains can think 30,000 things in split seconds, right? We want not the element of surprise, but we want to be able to understand where our soul gets happy. You know, some of us have been in the same job, but we have no benefit. Some of us have no job, right? We can be established better if we understand that we have permission to say yes and to say no. All right. So first question, what can you say no to? And I know that you're listening to this, and a lot of times it's hard, but I want you to understand the frequency in which you live in. You know, when you say yes to things that excite you, that fulfill you and bring joy to your life, you are going to feel a lot lighter. And when you say yes to things that you don't want to say yes to, it can be a little bit heavier, right? So the first question that I want you to ask yourself on this very first Monday out of 52 Mondays is, what can I say no to? Number 2 is, how to say no change the path or the direction in where I'm going. You know, maybe it's no to that network luncheon, or maybe it's yes. You know, are there people that are going to be there that are yoked equally, that are like-minded, that's going to enhance your life, or are you just going? What about finding something in your city to do, right? That expands your mind to what your city has to offer you. Right here in Tulsa, we've got some amazing things and amazing people. And so every day can be a new adventure. Not everybody's going to carry around their pom-poms and be that coach like I am, right? But you can learn to overcome the no by understanding what you can say yes to and what you can say no to. Because remember, what you can say no to can offer an opportunity of better and greater. All right, so what path does that change if you say no? And lastly, what will you say yes to? What enhances your life? What fortifies it? What makes it stronger? What gives you moxie and tenacity and the capability of pushing through something, right? After an exhausting day of work, you can say no to your coworker who's asked you to pull an extra shift, right? You have that permission. You also can say no to your roommate who's asked you to drive them to work for the 5th time for that week. You know, there's a difference between serving others and helping others and making their lives better versus bringing down your life to where you actually have no time to self-improve and no time to motivate yourself to get things done. Procrastination is the biggest killer, right? Procrastination. But overcoming no can be another one. Because as a society, we've learned to say yes, yes, yes. All right. So lastly, I want you to ask yourself, how do I value myself? How do I protect my time and make room for something greater? So say no to good so you can say yes to greater. All right, guys, I am Karrie Shust. You can find me at www.motivationalme.net. And I also want you to connect right here with us on our social media assets on YouTube at thetulsascene.com, on Facebook, thetulsascene.com. And come back on Monday. Let's get filled up together. Let's drive this together and let's make life better. Don't forget, we are your one source for that uplifting content that's going to get you through this week. All right, guys, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.